Hello, I'm Farin Israeli, and I'm a very dedicated yoga student and passionate about how the practices of yoga are really incredible tools for physical, emotional, and mental health and well-being. And I'm really happy to be in conversation with Nicole Marcia, a dear friend and colleague. Nicole, how would you describe the work you do?
Hi, Farah. It's so great to be here. I would describe the work that I do as I'm a yoga therapist, and I specialize in supporting folks who are working through the experiences of trauma, addiction, and mental illness here in Vancouver, in the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations people.
I know that the way yoga has been taught in North America and a trauma-informed yoga are very different, look very different, perhaps feel very different, and may differ in many aspects. How would you distinguish the two, the main differences and the benefits of a really trauma-informed approach to yogic practices or tools?
Um, Well, there are a lot of distinctions uh, between what we generally see taught in public yoga classes in North America, and a trauma-informed yoga class. And I think a lot of the primary differences lay in power dynamics. So, in many traditional yoga classes here in North America, power dynamics that we see within the context of teacher-student relationships and also the kind of power dynamics that we see in some kinds of relational trauma scenarios are upheld. So the teacher is the expert in the practice and also the expert in what should be happening with the student's body. The teacher tells the student what to do with their bodies. The teacher sometimes seeks consent for touching students' bodies, but for some people with different types of life experiences, that can be quite coercive. Um, and the teacher is sort of running the show. And when you think about it, again, you can circle back to that idea of like, well, what are the power dynamics that are inherent in a lot of abuse and trauma scenarios? Somebody else is an expert or in a position of power in relationship to someone else, and they're also dictating what's happening with this other person's body a lot of the time. So in a trauma-informed yoga practice, we really confront some of those traditional power dynamics. So what that would mean is that I'm not an expert in yoga, actually, nor am I an expert in somebody else's experience, what they should or shouldn't be feeling, what their body should or shouldn't be doing. So I'm working more from this idea of you're the expert in your experience, and I'm going to be inviting you to explore some of these practices, and you get to let me know what your experience is like.
Really restoring a sense of agency, which probably is taken away in situations of trauma or abuse or exploitation.
Yeah, that idea of agency is really front and center, and interlinked with agency is this idea of empowerment. So this is a practice that's about empowering the student survivor to make choices in their own lives with the understanding that choice and power is something that get taken away in the midst of trauma and abuse scenarios. So yeah, a big part of this practice is about reinstilling that or giving that back.